Okay.
playing this song. We're in a black screen, by the way. So
Good. Good.
let's see what we look like on my phone.
What's up?
Just check it out. Here's our time.
Check the time. It's late. It's all good.
Oh, there's a new John Oliver too. Yes.
Good. 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 Mm-mm. 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 Mm-mm.
What do you think of this track, Matthew?
Sounds awesome.
It's called it's a Dead Baby track. I call it F This Distance.
F this distance? Why's that?
I don't know. That's what I named it back in the day.
All right. It's a dead baby.
Former dead baby. I guess it's resurrected now.
Added some resuscitation.
Yeah, give it some new
Practices.
life. Give it some intro.
That's good.
This is our intro song. We're
Is
up
it?
we're
Hell
up in the
yeah.
production value right now.
Good.
Yeah,
Add
show
it.
the world. There we are. Hey, world. We are live.
Right on.
Okay. Say what's up to the camera. What's
Hey.
up, guys?
Wheeltalk.
It says someone's watching, but I think that was just me checking in the stream on our phone, on my phone. But
Hey, that's one extra person. Or not.
yeah, I mean,
But it's not really.
we gotta
Hello,
boost our
yes.
numbers. We do have to boost our numbers.
Hello. How are you enjoying the show? It's okay so far.
Who are you?
Talking to our one viewer. We need some insight. This is the interactive piece.
No, we can't get interactive until 1,000.
It's a shame.
Yeah, let's see a little
999,000.
transition
100
here.
ag-
Woo! Little Ric Flair.
Oh, they're gonna love this. Hmm.
Welcome to Wheeltalk. This is our
Right.
8th episode number 107, I think.
Hey,
How you doing, Matt?
Bro, I'm good. How are you calling?
I'm doing great.
Good to hear.
Got a couple updates to start off with. We got the Indiegogo campaign. Trying to go to Indianapolis.
For people, yeah, for by conference.
Yep.
Wrapping that.
Yeah, what else do we got to do? It's just launched a Facebook. Thank you to everyone that is signed up on Facebook right now.
Yeah, liking
like-
us,
Like
following
the
us.
page. Seems like there's a lot of really cool stuff to do.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot. There's a lot coming up. Lot to do.
A lot of interactive tools, like a lot of insights, interactivity, on the Facebook platform to play with.
Definitely. Huh?
Like a lot of insights and stuff.
right. It'll
Yeah.
provide you some.
Yeah, connecting with like the Stoke Spoke series, stuff like that. A lot of cool tools for Facebook. Yeah, so check those things out. Thanks to everybody. We got a couple things on the Bike Happy month. Today's the last day. Thanks to everybody that contributed. I'm excited to volunteer. Probably too much time. August 24th through September 23rd, but
Yeah, I'd like to.
I'm really excited about it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. put for anybody that contributed. Yeah, we're just looking forward to seeing how that's gonna turn out.
Yeah, fund your own events, man.
Yeah. It looks like
Which is what they want to do.
What's that?
That's what they want to do. Fund their own events.
We're trying to compete with Portland.
Oh yeah, well,
Make a big street festival.
there's no competition. They're sweeping it.
What else is going on? REI's got their class. Did you ever go to one of those REI classes?
I've been in one.
Which one did you go to?
I was about drivetrains.
Ooh. Well, their drivetrain
headsets.
class is tomorrow. Their first, or maybe their first one.
Oh, it's highly
6:30 to 8:30. It says there's did you have to pay something to do it?
Oh, I think so.
It was like
5 or 10.
5 or 10. Okay, that's not
Mhm.
bad. And
No.
it's at REI up in their bike area.
Yeah, live demonstration, which is great.
That's cool. And they have a fix it class on Tuesday, the 13th as well.
Yeah, I don't know that
The
one.
flagship. Yeah, but it seems like a cool opportunity. I mean, Bikeworks does it for free, but
Do they?
well, Thursdays they can.
Oh yeah.
I think.
You can volunteer, and they have an expert to show you what to do.
Right.
Because I don't know what to do.
Well, more on that later. Sure. Bikeworks and the community. But we're just letting you know that REI's got some stuff too. REI's we'll get more on the Vista Outdoor boycott later, but REI.
That's a good segue for later.
Well, I keep wanting to. I don't know. We got segues for days, but yeah, REI made a statement about Vista Outdoors and the NRA boycott. So
Yeah.
more on that. Still want to give them a shout out, for
Hosting events.
doing hosting community events, and they've been doing it for a little bit. But Glad Bike Happy's on top of that.
Same.
Let's see what else
In
is
the
going.
free realm.
Wednesday. Wednesday's Pi Day.
Pi Day.
March 14th, 314, 314, 3.14.
314.
3.1 Pi Day. There's a Pi Day ride in University Place, Tacoma. Let's see. There's a really cool thing.
Yeah, great graphic for it, yeah.
Yeah. So the bad news is that
I wonder if they go 3.14 miles, too. They would have to.
I mean, I don't see why not.
At 3.14 miles per hour.
Okay, they're doing a 19 mile, about 3.14 times 6. That's the details there, it looks like.
For Point Defiance.
Yeah, they're doing from University Place around Point Defiance Park and back. Starting at Anthem Coffee Company in University Place, 6 p.m. Average pace. No bikes will be left behind. There's a Facebook thing. I'll make sure to share that on our page, the Wheeltalk Facebook page.
Yeah. And it's a quick $5.94 bus ride from Seattle over there.
Oh, yeah. And you can put your bike right on there.
Mm-hmm. Right on the front.
And what if there was an instance where there were 3 bikes already on there, right?
Yeah, so you gotta wait.
So you either have to...
Or you just bike the 40 miles down. I've done that before.
Yeah. I thought there was one instance where the bus driver was super nice and, let you bring it on.
Yeah, but not on one of those buses.
Oh, okay.
Because those are, the really big, climb up the stairs type of a bus.
Oh, this was a Metro bus you were telling me about.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this other one this is sound.
Well, my
bus.
point is, don't get discouraged. Don't let public transportation bus racks lack.
Don't let them get you down.
Right. And
So
plus,
what you could do-
there's usually another bus. 99% of the time, there's another bus.
Oh, definitely.
You might have to wait half an hour, but
And on Wednesdays, it's the 590, it's the 591.
Sound Transit, right? Not
Yep,
Metro. Okay. Don't want to confuse the listeners.
No. Or you can take the bus from here to the airport, or the Sounder to the airport, and then hop on a
Sound
bus
Transit,
to Tacoma.
Yeah.
How many people are taking their bikes from the airport to Tacoma anyways? Probably none.
How much? I bet there's some good. I was looking at routes actually to, just because it's getting nicer, doing some rides.
Absolutely.
Incorporating public transit into our bike rides is just something I really enjoy.
Yeah. Well, it's it's an hour bus ride away versus a 4-hour bike ride away.
Well, I mean, how
So
many
it's
times did
time and
we take
energy.
a light rail from from down south on a Thursday night ride?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, because it was late. And
yeah, exactly.
well, I mean, my legs weren't as strong back
And
then.
how much is it? $250.
They could still go.
Get the Orca
strength.
card, and it just makes it so easy to. It's a super easy way to do it.
That is.
Yeah.
Orca card is like your octopus card in
wonder-
Hong Kong.
Oh, is there a bike discount for Orca, or is there a biker? I don't know. I doubt it.
I don't think so.
But they should incentivize. Like, if there was a bike on my Orca card, I would totally pay like extra for a bike card. You know what I mean? Like to have a bike logo on it.
Like on your driver's license, there's a little heart.
Yeah.
Okay, how about this? I want a little bike on my driver's license that if I get struck by,
I want bike certification.
that if I die while riding my bike, donate my bike. That's what it is.
Donate my body to bikes.
Yeah, make your body out of a bike, or make a bike out of your body.
Right. Well, I mean, you donate your bike parts or body parts, but you can donate your bike to ghost biking or whatever. I don't know. There's
that too.
Someone wants to head that up. It's a little too morbid for my comfort level, but
I'll do that.
I'll support it 100,000%.
Yeah, and then
there's a lot of people that are really good at that kind of thing.
And then if it's a really nice carbon bike, and
then we'll make like a bronzing of it or something. Perhaps.
Or you could just turn it into a weapon.
I mean, they have it for social media. I saw on Facebook that you can like have a legacy, or like set up a digital will for yourself. What the heck?
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna will everything to my bike.
Like, what happens to your page when you die? Like, there's a whole tab on your settings for that now.
On Facebook?
On Facebook, man.
Like what to do if you die?
Like, who do you want to have it? Yeah. Like, legacy. What do you want your digital legacy to be?
Destroyed.
But that's an option.
Burn it.
Like,
next to me.
Do you want to, like, self-destruct or something? I don't know. What else we got in the news? Let's keep this going. We got REI classes. I mean, let's just jump into it.
Sure.
Vista Outdoors.
Vista Outdoors, Vista. It's the outdoors with the Vista.
Because so I've got a background in marketing communication, and I'm super stoked to have this discussion about how we can be ethical capitalists in this society. And there's a lot in this. There's a lot. So
with so many opportunities.
There's a lot of opportunity. Why don't you go ahead and explain what you figured out, or what you told me a little bit earlier about how.
Yeah, well, it all began last week when
Dick's and REI, those are two big retailers, right?
They are, yes.
Yeah.
Who are. Yeah, so I first heard about this thing last week when we were looking at the other podcasts, and the newest podcast that they were talking about the fact that there were some bike brands that their parent company also makes, weapon ammunition, and then
we
they
talked about
support
this on that Colorado podcast mentioned.
Yes.
Who was? Oh,
that one is like.
That's not the same thing, but it's related. But right.
That's why I first heard about it.
Oh, okay, yeah. We played that little. Okay.
We played a little bit of their podcast last week.
But now it's kind of blowing up.
It's huge. It was in the Times. I saw it.
Seattle Times.
The Seattle Times.
Nice.
Picked it up too.
Well, and REI also made a statement.
They're a huge corporation, so anybody who's part of their co-op or goes there is gonna know about it, I'm sure.
Activists called on retailers to stop selling all Vista outdoor products, specifically over the company's support of the National Rifle Association and manufacturing of assault weapons.
Man, how can something so innocent as bicycling and cycling be associated with...
Within days, bicycle retailers in Oregon stopped selling all Vista outdoor products. Some were canceled and returned stock. There's a couple Canadian companies that have done the same. REI announced that they would stop ordering products effective immediately.
I was just there looking at helmets too.
Yep.
From the Giro guys.
Giro?
And that's
Gyro? Gyro?
G-I-R-O.
Giro?
Giro.
Let's see if there's a pronunciation thing on here. No, I guess not.
I think they thrive on that. Ambiguity.
They were founded in 1985 and headquartered in Scotts Valley, California.
1985. That's the same year that weapon was
Ooh.
made.
Interesting. Which weapon?
No, I'm just kidding.
My
I don't know.
bike weapon? That's
The bike weapon.
That's
yeah.
when this
It's when the
human
carbon frame was
person
developed.
weapon was made.
Uh-oh.
Actually, I think it was made in '84. That's when.
Look out.
That's my mom did my dad. Because so they were doing it at the end of '84 and into '85. So here's a great example. I'm on the
I'm gonna
Wikipedia
put you
page.
on the shelf.
The top shelf.
Top
Yeah.
shelf.
So this is how it. So yeah, cycling company. They first manufactured helmets, sunglasses, and goggles and soft goods for cycling, skiing, and snowboarding.
Oh.
And then they were bought by BRG Sports, which was formerly known as Easton Bell Sports.
Which is currently known as.
I don't know. BRG Sports. We're getting there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but they're the brand. They're a brand underneath the Vista Outdoor conglomerate. Giro, and they're just one of them. But they're all
Giro.
So Giro merged with BRG, or was part of BRG Sports, which I guess seems like it was recent. But Easton, they're the people that made the baseball bats and all that stuff, and archery stuff, and so like all these little sporting goods groups. Like when Nike was getting big, they had to say, so they had to come together to Hey, let me see if I can pull up this thing.
Oh, I'm sure they have to come together to try to stand up against.
Here's the example that we were talking about. Marketing.
How do you make it cheap?
Well, yeah, exactly. Like
You sell the company.
yeah. So you got your brand here. Ta-da! Look at that, guys. This is your brand right in here.
So pretend Nestle was.
Giro's one of these little guys.
Yeah, Giro's is one of those little guys.
And if you're just listening, we've got we'll link these pictures, but we got the behind the brand solution of choice graphic from Oxfam, and this is representative of the food industry. However, a lot of these things started. I mean, I can't see any good examples on it. Like Ben and Jerry's, they're now part of the Unilever Corporation.
Once just a company owned by
a couple hippies in Vermont, right? Right.
Jerry. Ben and Jerry, they used to be
and this is
family.
another good example that talks about like Google as far as having their house brands, and Amazon's similar. Their branded house. So Google has all kinds of other things like books and videos and maps and translate and search.
Videos even.
YouTube. But so YouTube is a brand identity owned by Google, so they're more of a hybrid.
So they could hybrid into that, right?
Or they have hybrid into that. This graphic's
too.
a little bit older example, but if you're looking at the hybrid model offers independently operated brands like Giro helmets, and
but now Outdoor Vista might be more the middle, might be more of the P&G.
So Outdoor Vista, I have their Wikipedia up.
Nope.
They have a list of brands that they manage.
Name them. Name three that have to do with something that we know.
Bell Sports, Blackburn, Bushnell, Camelback. Camelback's a big one. Giro helmets and goggles, and let's see.
Because even if Camelback's not
Camelback, where did they
its
start?
own backpack, it is within many backpacks.
Petaluma, California is when they started in 1988. Yeah, or 1989. By
Only
an EMT.
200 employees. Huh?
I mean, this is the American dream right here. That's. But it was purchased by Vista Outdoor in 2015
for $400 million.
And they were integrate their 300 employees into its outdoor products division.
When you're dealing in hundreds of millions of dollars, you're going to use some of those millions for things that.
But I mean, they were sold in 1996 for $5 million. But they're to a bank kind of thing, and then they get traded off. But the brands get traded off down the line for
Yeah,
but
but
they still but their identity in the house of brands.
They're just buying one brand for $400 million. They have many brands. So that means they're dealing in billions of dollars.
Yeah,
They're not screwing around
but
here.
but that's where it's not about the consumer anymore at this point. But this is how. So that, and then we gotta bring this all the way back to biking here. So Camelback, that
Goes well with bicycling sometimes.
And so let's see. Vista Outdoors has got two separate types of brands. They have separated their outdoor products from their shooting sports products. Now
why? Why not just combine them?
This is exactly why. Because they don't want, because they can't afford, if consumers, they've diversified because they know that guns aren't the only moneymaker. So they invested in other smaller companies that are related.
Mm-hmm.
Like people that buy guns also need to stay hydrated. So they invested in Camelback. Because once you buy a gun, you just need to buy ammo. And, if you're not an ammo company, then you're not going to get that. I mean, from a purely capitalistic
and if it's a good
operating
investment
system
to do, they'll do it.
For sure. And they're not thinking about, but what we need is the people like we're doing now is to jump on the,
they're not necessarily thinking.
they're trying to vote. You're trying to vote with your dollar. This is the democratization of capitalism here.
Yeah.
Voting with your dollar.
And they voted for the best possible outcome.
And that's the whole point of the boycott is to.
Now, would you say that having if you were to see this, all of the people, they have a lot of brands for weapons and ammunition.
They sure do.
So that would mean that they have an interest in selling those things, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Making those things available.
And who
to
are
people,
they meaning Vista Outdoor.
Vista Outdoor them specifically.
Correct.
So they want to sell guns and ammunition because it's good for their bottom end and for their profits and for their shareholders. And same with the bicycle helmets too. They profit off of selling bicycle helmets and selling really sexy $100, $200 helmets too. That are lightweight. That you can
charge your phone.
Charge your
light
phone.
Up. I think they have light up helmets now, don't they? I've seen a few of them around, but
I'm surprised they're not diversifying into porn because that's always like the end where you start like
the porn conglomerates are ruling the world.
Yeah, product placement in those.
But it's only a matter of time, probably.
But that's just too obvious.
Until bike porn. Oh man,
You have a product placement into those.
I'll place a product into that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Get what I mean? Anyway,
I think so.
I do have something to say about helmets. If I can digress for a second.
Yes.
The helmet law thing.
We're coming. Yeah.
Let's
we'll
go.
be right
Okay.
back here to this.
Well, okay. No.
The brand
Well,
thing,
I got some really great stuff to talk about this, the value and ethical marketing part of this whole debate. But I want to
talk about bike helmets while we're on the topic.
Well, why do we need them? It is really frustrating me. So I mean, okay. Let me back it up here. I got a soapbox moment.
Preach, Colin.
But no, I can't. Get me started. Get me going. Get me riled up.
So did you need to ride a helmet? Did you need to wear a helmet today when we were riding around?
I didn't necessarily need to. I decided to.
Didn't need
It
to.
was night. Okay, so that's kind of if I'm riding around. I went to the KEXP thing. That's what happened.
On Tuesday, yeah.
It's Saturday. They have a thing called Mastering the Hustle. Phenomenal panel, keynote speaker, just talking about how artists can sustain themselves in the community, and they automate all the jobs and
master the hustle.
So we're gonna. I mean, we're hustle. I do music as well as podcast and ride my bike. So it was a really good presentation to hear, and yeah, just really encouraging.
Good.
But it was a Seattle set at the KXP hangout space, and they're doing, and they have a very similar ethics or ethos to what we do, or what I think our vision is like building community, and facilitating these kind of things, and like the Soak Spoke series, and how to bike camp better, and friends on bikes, and just that whole. I mean, the city's growing immensely. There's no denying that.
Absolutely.
Um,
It's noticeable.
it's insanely noticeable. And another thing I noticed is the amount of bicycles out, and that's due to fuck ton more people, for one, bringing their bicycles, and also how many bike share bikes? Three company tons. And even just out today, I was walking or running errands, and the amount of people on bike share bikes, every person that is on a bike share bike is someone that would not have been on a bicycle otherwise in that moment.
Yeah, probably not. You're not going to choose a share bike over your own bike.
And it's $1. And I mean, I'm almost inclined to take a share bike at some. I haven't done it yet. I know you have, but I'm afraid to put it on my phone because I would use it. Like, there's days that I just don't feel like taking my bike down the stairs and wanting to worry about parking. But if I end up at a grocery store and
a walk,
I don't want to carry shit. They got baskets on there.
Yeah, their own baskets.
So it's
easy.
like, what did I do? I went to the hardware store and I had a bunch of like grocery shopping, and it's like, it was going by foot, which was strange. You know, I didn't have my bike on me, but it's like
it's like left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot.
But it's like, man, this would have taken me so much less time if I would have just had my bicycle, and I wouldn't have had to carry this awkwardly shaped thing. I could have just put it in the back. Anyway,
that's why you need your own front rack.
Here's the thing, but the helmet thing.
Okay.
One of the bigger issues with Pronto.
We're gonna thread this, guys. Just watch.
Oh, always do. And if we don't, then we'll put it in the description. Pronto. One of the bigger issues with Pronto was the fact that it wasn't the stations. It was, how are you gonna do the helmet thing? So they did the helmet thing. They spent a shitload of money on the helmet thing.
Didn't they try to like share helmets?
And it was share. Just, and the thing was, it's like, well, we want to do bike share, but we have this law, so we gotta obey the law. It's like, do we really?
It's your own law that you're making up.
And I get it. We all want to be safe. Safe in Seattle.
Oh yeah, safe in Seattle looks like.
And repealing the helmet law will mean we're not being safe. No, I think that's not the case. There's got to be. It's like there's some special interest that, like the helmet industry. Well, I mean, maybe the helmet industry is owned by the gun industry, and the gun lobby's the ones that are, in fact, keeping this law on the books, not for practical purposes or functional purposes, just because it makes them more money. Because millennials aren't buying guns, but they'll buy bike helmets because
it'd be so easy to lobby somebody in favor of bike helmets. Say, hey,
so easy.
Look, this is what happens to a watermelon when you put it into a helmet. It doesn't break as much.
That's like a seatbelt manufacturer saying that we should make it a law that the car should have seatbelts. You can't disagree with that.
Right.
But is it against the law to not wear a seat? Well, okay, maybe that's a poor example because I like to bring cars into it because I feel like that's what people around here know the most about is how it relates to car transportation. But that's not always the best parallel, and that's okay. It's not always a transit issue because bikes aren't always transit. There's sometimes a pleasure vehicle, and there's sometimes the best way to get
pleasure vehicle. Haven't been on that one yet.
Dude, we were just talking about bike and porn.
Oh yeah. No.
We're going on tour soon.
Maybe not. Okay. I have to get on that vehicle soon.
The
pleasure vehicle.
The vibrator. Anal beans? You're not into it? No. Maybe the bike is.
I didn't download that app.
There would be an app for that, wouldn't there? Anyway, so this is how ridiculous the helmet law is. I mean, maybe I'm getting on a soapbox this week, but so like last year I rode around I made some conscious decisions to just like try it, you know? Just to be a little rebellious, not
taking off the helmet.
Just not wear my helmet. I just didn't feel like it.
Is there something within you that says that you need to wear it? Like something in there?
Always. Yeah. Definitely a nurture thing. Grew up always having to wear a helmet. It wasn't a law in Pennsylvania when I grew up, or Indiana. In Indiana, you can ride a motorcycle without a helmet. There was a no helmet law in Indiana for motorcycles.
Yeehaw!
right? I think
Yeah.
Texas is the same way still. I'm not sure. But we could debate that.
Mm.
I think that's. But now it's a question of like how to government policy, and how much should the government intervene, and what special interests of these governments type is this helmet law protecting? Because it's not protecting ourselves.
Yeah. We need some investigative journalists right now, man.
I think so.
Something happened.
We're still live, but
Looks good though.
we
It's
froze.
all noir. Here, give it a second, you guys.
Yeah, check that.
Put on
camera
some
thing.
music.
Well, I'll keep talking about this helmet law
There
thing.
we go. I'll go to the bathroom, yo. And then I'm gonna turn that light on.
So, here's what I don't understand. I thought really long and hard about this helmet thing, and how I did it on my commute to work, and I thought about the protected bike lane, and about how I forgot what I was gonna say. So let's just cut to some song. Just put on a little song.
There we go.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Just gotta turn this on.
I don't know, do something. The battery is dead?
No, it still has it. Is it going?
I'd have to like close the ad or something like that.
Epoch cam.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we're good.
There it is. Good call. I'm glad we have a soundtrack there, man. Music brought to you by Pistol of the Dawn.
Yeah. That was at this distance again. For the second time.
Well, helmet laws. Sorry, I cut you off.
No, it's all good.
You know what else
when
cut
nature
you off?
calls.
This thing.
You know, it was good
Just a
timing.
moment.
We got. I mean, you want to see our pretty faces?
Mm-hmm. Those cheekbones.
Mm-hmm. That's your good side.
Cutting.
So we're back.
This is good
Thanks
lighting.
for. I mean, thanks for dealing with us. That one watcher. I forgot to start the audio feed, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to cut that together too. First, I mean, I started it later, a little bit later, but
Whatever.
so
Hello.
SoundCloud missed our big intro.
Wow.
Like, no, I
No
mean it's been
worries.
going. We're good for. Yeah, I started it, but I missed it. I jinxed it by saying this was gonna be the best podcast ever, Matt.
It's probably the best quality podcast.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Always. Every episode's better than the last one, and that's
Definitely. Look at these
And
mics
that's all
that
that
we got, man.
yeah. We got a couple new mics and these new. We got matching
New
headphones. They
headphones.
sound really nice, and we got individual volume.
A sticker needs
You
to go
like yours
right
a
here.
little softer,
Right there.
and I like mine a little louder, and
Yeah. Yeah, I like mine a little bit softer so I can hear the... I have to listen closely to your voice, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I can balance it a little bit easier on my own. Am I talking close enough this time?
Yeah, well,
There's
you
something.
were doing good. You're eating the mic, but this is a new mic, so
It's a little
Just
bit. It's a
when
little
you
bit
when you
more.
brush up against it, it makes some. Maybe it was my mustache.
Oh.
Got this growing out the nar stash.
I'm marking it. Sorry.
Like you're a cat. Wait, is there
Yeah.
Napoleon in the frame this time? Hey,
Meow. I'm glad you got the black ones though.
which one?
The black what do you call them?
Microphone condom.
Yeah, those.
Windscreen.
Mm-hmm. The big orange ones are kind of strange.
I like the fuzzy ones. They look like
You would.
big old puff balls.
Puff ball.
Balls. So helmets. I mean, it's getting nice. And today was
Mm.
a perfect day to ride without a helmet.
I saw so many people riding their weekends this bike. Yep. They
Mhm.
did. They were definitely weakening their bikes today.
Weekending.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, weekend warriors. But were they on bike shares or were they in? Okay, so
No,
all the bike
mostly on their
shares
own
don't
bike.
have helmets, especially on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just it. Okay, helmet law comparative to they let the Uber drivers unionize.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the city did.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm saying. Like, the city needs to make some freaking decisions here.
Yeah, they intervened on
Like,
that pretty quickly.
Okay, as a bike owner,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's like we can't. Okay, I had this thought formulated earlier. As a bike owner, as a cyclist, if you were to use a bike share bike and a police officer wanted to enforce the helmet law, they could. They could write you a ticket.
That's a dick move, but they could.
It is a dick move, but this is the law. However, they're not likely to do it because the police around here are generally sane. They're a little more concerned with shooting people, it seems, than writing tickets for jaywalking and
They have their hands full.
right, which is great. They have to prioritize things.
Right.
So I think taking this off of their plate would help. There's one
Definitely.
argument. Second,
criminalize riding your bike, man.
for real, victim blaming for two. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad idea to wear your helmet. I'm not saying that you shouldn't wear your helmet. I think you should. I feel comfortable wearing my helmet most of the time, and then a lot of circumstances.
Me too.
I feel more confident, and confidence.
Sometimes by your own choice, you get yourself into a situation where you're like, well, I'm glad I was wearing this because I was...
so many of those situations.
I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I had way too many beers, and I'm going way too fast.
And that's it. And the helmet could very well save your life. And I'm not saying that we should ban helmets or repeal helmets or make helmets go away. I'm just saying if you're on a bike
make
share,
them nerdy again.
yeah, it'd be awesome if we could maybe
I had such a hard time trying to put my helmet on when I first rode.
Really?
I felt like such a nerd. I'm like, oh, why am I wearing this helmet? I saw everybody else was wearing a helmet too, but every time I put mine on,
It's
I'm
a
like,
Seattle thing, man.
I'm like, nah, I don't like it. Maybe I don't like this biking thing because I have to wear my helmet.
And so I grew up with that exact feeling as like a small child.
Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah,
with helmets
it
not being
stemmed
allowed.
from that.
But if I was going to ride my bike in my family, my dad was in charge of requiring that shit. Like if I had to, like he drilled it into.
Like, are you wearing your helmet? I'm going out. You wearing your helmet?
It was
I'm
well.
just
I mean, it was
walking.
like you must wear a helmet because, I mean, maybe I don't want to say you always hear this, but he also knew someone that was killed in a motorcycle accident without a helmet, or there's you hear stories.
Yeah.
And it affects you, and it shapes your judgment, and it shapes your
Apples
psyche.
and oranges, but yes.
But it shapes your psyche. Well,
Definitely.
shapes your psyche.
Absolutely.
And like you were saying, but I had that feeling as a small child, but I also, so it's like embedded into the schema of my brain. So if I'm not wearing a helmet, from a evolutionary biological side, my brain's schema is conditioned to react differently. Yeah. Knowing that my helmet's not on.
And then if you're not wearing your helmet, you're being stupid.
According to the law. I'm breaking the law.
Well, now according to the law, that just like puts a whole like blanket over everybody that says, yeah, if you're not doing this is a bad thing,
but it's
because
not
you can get a ticket.
There's no correlation to the effectiveness of the law and what the intention of it.
Yeah.
And that's why
the intent is to keep people safe, but yet people are
it's
still
preventing people from using
bicycles
because of things like bike share and how they're operating. They're technically anybody that uses a bike share right now is breaking the law without a helmet, and I think that's a terrible thing to subject people to.
Yeah, but it's like Hempfest on two wheels,
essentially. But but the helmets aren't what's keeping people safe, or aren't what's killing people on bikes. It's a lack of the helmets is not what's killing people.
No, there was actually a wonderful article about this.
Oh yeah, you said a recent one, right?
Yeah,
because there was one in the Guardian a few years back when I was trying to convince my girlfriend at the time that I wasn't being reckless and trying to endanger my life by
Was she worried about you?
Very worried. She thought I was being a very dumb person by choosing not to wear my helmet. Maybe,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm just boycotting.
There's reason to
Yeah.
be worried because a lot of people do get hurt
Absolutely.
around here, but it's not because of a lack of a helmet. It's not because of the helmet.
And it's not, and again,
it's not
like,
because the law is saving your life.
and I can't prove that my brain schema is different than anybody else's because I was raised in a household that was forced to wear a helmet in a society that made fun of me. I got
wearing
relentless criticism for being the only one the only nerd on my bike. But I loved riding my bike so much that I had to wear a helmet, and I understood why it was important because definitely definitely like to ride my bike.
Mm-hmm.
More ballsy than most. I've broken arms and shoulders, but that's the fun of it. Like, you gotta live a little.
Definitely. I feel like these Juro and these Bell, and they're trying to make them awesome. It's because it's like you put on a helmet, and then there's that. Oh no, that looks lame. It's like, oh no, but you need it. And they can just like, well, you know what? We can make it look good, and we can.
But can they? I don't think they're doing it very good. Bell's the kind of is like the Walmart.
Bell. Yeah,
but
Bell's
they're the Walmart brands.
Version.
Same with like Gyros. They're but these are the This is
but
like
Gyros
the Walmart.
sells like $200 helmets.
That doesn't mean anything.
Well, I mean that they're trying.
They're
to make
just
them,
expensive.
Yeah, but they're also trying to make them. For everybody.
But they're the brand. But they're the brand. You're paying for a brand that's been established for 30 years, as opposed to someone like Burn, which I don't know how long is Burn. Let's see if I can find Burn real quick on Wiki and find out how long they've been around. Because I've got a Burn helmet. I've had 2 Burn helmets.
Yeah, so do I.
No, not the city in
City in
Germany.
City where? City in Germany. Bern.
Feel the burn of presidential use.
Oh man.
Gah. See also.
I'm just trying to make sure that my helmet
We just
isn't paying for like what's another good one?
Ski helmets, maybe. There we go. Okay. Anyway, so this goes back to the capitalism, voting with your dollar, buying your helmet. What are you trying to support?
Mm-hmm.
I'm supporting the NRA by buying a Bell helmet when we don't even need to buy helmets.
Right.
They want you to go to the big box store. This is, and it's not. Let's see here. I got this other marketing thing to show you guys. The elements of the value pyramid. Pyramid. And this is kind of what capitalism's looking at, and what the art marketers are looking at. And they're like, what? How are we going to make the most money? And
the bottom one.
Let's see.
The foundational part of that.
So I'll read this beginning. The elements of the value pyramid. Products and services deliver fundamental elements of value that address 4 kinds of needs. So as a market, if you're trying to sell a product, you've got 4 different things that, 4 different ways that you can sell, show how your product benefits
So
your audience or consumer.
Talk to us about this, and maybe I can mention Wheeltalk. We'll use Wheeltalk as an example.
Yeah,
about this.
yeah. This is good. And this goes back to like the house of brands, and like kind of like the music industry in some ways too. So the products and services. So the helmet company, they're in 1985. They started as a way to, for whatever reason, sometimes they're reducing risk, or they had an opportunity in their neighborhood, just like many small businesses.
Yeah.
Like Bikeworks sees the opportunity in their neighborhood to do what they do and advocate for it.
Yeah, they provide a quality service.
Definitely. And kind of like I feel
Variety
like
of
Wheeltalk
options.
podcast, we're trying to make it look cool,
Trying to make it
bring the
quality
community
too.
together and scale it up, and
Yeah, that's what we got to do next.
tell our stories.
This is a good start. I love the podcast part of it, but yeah, we're gonna.
But it's a brand.
Yeah,
It's definitely a brand, and I can see Wheeltalk in other cities happening, and
this whole online presence is the building the brand
definitely
part of it.
I kind of like Wayne's. I'd still go back to Wayne's World every time, and
Wayne's World's so good.
they brought in local Aurora artists. Heavy metal,
Mhm.
Aerosmith too, and Waynestock, whatever. So
Connects.
like Waynestock.
Like Waynestock.
But if we do bike races and stuff too with like the Wheeltalk brand and bicycle benefits, I can't wait to talk to that guy and see what the possibilities are in May for Bike Month.
We're gonna kick that off.
But we're gonna kick its ass like
Mhm.
super hard, blow it up. But it's like we got so many new people here. We don't want to lose our culture.
No.
I don't want to lose the culture that I fell in love with here. Like,
And with the bike share, bringing in more cyclists into it, more people
Amazing.
involved, it's amazing. Yeah, but you gotta
I got people hit me up that I knew like 5 years ago,
do cool things with those bikes.
saying that they're
too.
getting a bike for the first time because they see it. You know, they've been in Seattle as long as I have or longer, and
Well,
they know.
yeah.
They see how much better. And these are the same. And these are look at the environmental. I hate to keep going back to cars, but it's like the cars are the polluters. People in Seattle, demographically, don't like that. If you tell them that their car pollutes, they'll be like, "Yeah, but there's no other way to get around."
But it's a hybrid, so it's not that bad.
But yeah, but a lot of
But I
things.
need it.
But I
But
need
there's
it.
no other option.
No, there are so many other options. I've lived car free for 5.5 years in
And
Seattle
counting.
and counting. I won't say car free. I've rented them, which is an option. Not against cars. Just got to keep clarifying that. Just like we got to say we're joking all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against cars. I'm against polluting, like many other Seattleites.
Right.
But I'm also against narrow-mindedness.
Mm-hmm. Tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision, and not the good kind, like build tunnels underneath the city and put the cars in there. That'd be great tunnel vision. But the vision I have is the transit system is ineffective. The bike network is mostly unsafe and unconnected, and pretty much the car is the only option. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. It's a lot harder to do. I know it is. But that's
I
the
never had
functional
a
thing.
hard
It's the car. It's like the functional saves time, simplifies, makes money.
Reduces effort.
So these are all
In a way.
this is the bottom of the pyramid, guys. This is the elements of the car. This is what the car industry has on. It avoids that's
And the bike helmet industry as well. They want to produce a quality thing at a
Mhm.
reduced cost with
Mhm.
variety.
well,
all the
sensory
bottom
appeal.
line. Sensory appeal.
Yeah, they're failing there. But quality and let's see.
Avoids hassles, right?
You'd hope it'd be a good quality, but that's their But yeah, the value of the car, the intrinsic value to the average Seattleite
Check out the life-changing one where it provides hope.
provides it. I mean, it really does. And I was thinking about reflecting on that today too.
Mm.
About I mean, I have access to a car because of the car share Reach Now, which is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking I had to run some errands today. I was like, oh, I could drive down to the hardware
Those
store
are
and get
those
a bunch of wood.
BMW
Yeah, they're
cars,
they're
right?
great, and it's fairly inexpensive. And yeah, I could get some lumber to build. I'm gonna try and build some shelves in the studio here. And I was like, oh, I could drive down. It'd be like
Sometimes you need it.
25 bucks, 30 bucks, whatever.
Mhm.
But then I don't know. But
Haul some lumber.
but I don't need to buy a car to do that. I could do that later this week too.
Yeah, you have to make multiple trips to haul lumber. Anyways, point
That's
is,
not the point. But it provides hope. Like it provides possibilities and affiliation, belonging. Like if I had a car, I would have access to the east side on a more regular basis, and I could have friends on the east side that I could maintain relationships with to a degree that is
relations.
But
Yeah.
but even I was thinking about when I had a car and how much I drove around, and like I had a girlfriend that I dated in college that was like 45-minute drive from the house I was staying at, each way.
Dang.
If
If that was a bike relationship.
but if that was a bus relationship,
Mm.
45 minutes on a bus, I've done that for work and commute and stuff, and I've done like half-hour commutes.
Mhm.
But this is the time. This is the save time. This is the bottom line functionality here. This is the bottom of the pyramid.
Saves time. Does the car? Yeah. Makes
Yeah.
money.
But
Well, now.
but these are
You can.
the key things. So the social impact thing is that self-trans. there's
What? What does the top say? Self.
So the social impact, and that's mitigating. So you have to hide all of the costs. The costs meaning like the environmental impact and the people that have to die for your car to be made. And he's a little exaggerating, but
Wow.
but there are. I mean, think about it. There's a certain amount. What was that quote from Fight Club where they talk about the insurance adjusters, and before they do a recall, a certain number of people have to die.
Oh.
Yeah, that's capitalism at its finest, guys.
Yeah. Taking life insurance on other people's bodies.
That it's exactly. And what is it? There's an equation that if the cost doesn't equal the whatever, but lives are at stake here, people. There are environments at stake, but but in a capitalist society, they're looking at function.
Stake, man.
Yeah,
I have I was riding around on my bike today, and I was just thinking that, what is it? I saw an osprey nest, and I realized I'm pointing. So I'm pulling up to a stoplight, a left turn lane. It's red, and I get up there and I look up, and there's like a fucking bird that's like bleeding from its body. That's just like flying through the air.
Holy shit!
Right? I'm like, what is going on? Like, this thing is fucked up. Well, it turns out that it's an osprey that's carrying like a dead, dying pigeon.
Awesome.
Anyways,
where was it? It was like dripping on the road or in the water or something.
No, it was. I don't know. It was like flying to its nest.
Oh, okay.
With
this, like blood dripping out of it.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. And then I'm looking up and I like point up, right? Because I can see it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Nobody else is noticing.
They're all looking at their phones.
Oh yeah, dude.
Heads down.
Dude, it's a bubble inside of that car. It literally is so quiet.
Even when people are walking around, like I love walking around with my phone in my backpack. I'm just looking around. Nobody else is.
No, nobody else is.
How many people have you almost run into?
Yeah.
Because they're not paying attention.
Yeah. Maybe you'd notice.
I mean, maybe it's just me that I'm really bad at like walking and looking at my phone. Maybe that's just me. Maybe there's people that are really good at it.
They're not. Because I almost hit them
I'm trying to like
There's some people who are good at it.
I'm trying to get people that no, they're not. But it's like you can't focus. We can hardly keep people to get two hands on the wheel when they're operating a car. But okay.
Bike helmets.
But there's I don't know. There's an affiliation. There's a lot going into the car lifestyle that people would have to disconnect from emotionally and mentally, and yeah, there's a lot of emotional.
I think morally you'd have to disconnect too.
Emotional, functional type values that you do have to disconnect from before you can, because
there's that thing in your brain where it's like something's wrong but you do it anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So you to like justify it, you have to convince yourself otherwise, or completely ignore it, or like ignorance is bliss. Definitely. Like,
and I just look at this, like if you divide where my cursor is on this between the emotional and life changing, below emotional functional needs. I mean, they're just completely different than the ones that matter, the life changing and social impact. So it's like we live in between this area here and that's happiness, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking about. I like this one, providing access to like the wilderness and stuff. And it's like, as much as I love to get out into the wilderness, and I'm excited to go bike camping this summer and spring and get into that whole thing, it's, if I had a car, do you know how much more I'd be out in the woods? Probably way too much.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I mean, and that's hard to argue that it's such a bad thing.
There's never too much of the wilderness.
Right. But is it at the cost of the environment, at the cost of owning a car to park in my current situation? It sounds great in an ideal, like I'd love to get away from the city more.
Yeah.
And a car would enable that 1,000%. I mean, there's people that do more, like do day hikes during the week. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd have to rent a car to do that.
Yeah.
Or find a bus and put my bike. It's just it's an access thing. There's an attractiveness value. There's it's a rewarding experience, and
it sure is.
There's just so many things that getting to drive around with the music up on a day like
There's
today
the
with the
therapeutic
windows
value
down,
to it, yeah.
bumping the bass and that track. They just made boom.
You know, I was just in the car this
Hotness.
weekend, and what was it? It was hot. I was warm in the car, so I rolled down the window, and they're like, hey, roll it up. It's loud out there. Like yeah. I'm just thinking, yeah, it's because your car,
car's
your car's
moving.
moving and it's loud. And it's everybody else's car.
It's loud out there.
It's loud out there. Shut it up.
I mean, so there's like the heirloom, and a lot of that in Seattle is like, we don't know any different.
Mm-hmm.
We're a car city. Indianapolis is a car city. I can't wait. Oh, I think we should just go. Like, we're gonna apply for that scholarship for Indianapolis.
We get that. Let's just go.
Let's just go. Yeah. But hit us up on the Indiegogo. I want to show you. I just want to compare because they're like the same age city too. How convenient. But yeah, we'll do more on that soon.
That would be really fun. Just to go anyways.
So yeah, that's my mark. What else? Do you have any other? Was there any other questions about the marketing stuff? I feel like I
marketing.
think I did an okay job
with
explaining how you can use your dollar. How do you vote with your dollar in this democratic capitalism?
Yeah. All right. Well, how about this?
The capitalist
for
operating
us?
system.
Well, with their company, they're pursuing all opportunities of income, and whatever's going to be the best investment on them.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that could lead them into being a NRA supporter. And I guess depending on your views, it's either good or bad, right?
Yeah. But we don't want to have to think about. We just want to buy. We want to get a bike, and we don't want to have to think about where.
Yeah, but if hypothetically, we want to make some money on this too.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have to we'd have to obviously be careful of who we choose to sponsor or to include, so that we're not putting ourselves into any possible.
You were asking
problems,
about Pistols
right?
at Dawn and how that relates to Wheeltalk as a brand, and Pistols at Dawn essentially is the publishing label for the brand of Wheeltalk.
Oh.
Yeah. So if Wheeltalk were to put their name on, it's there's a corporate social responsibility, I think, of their brand, and Dick's and REI and anybody else that's doing this boycott is maintaining their integrity and their value and putting their values on display at whatever cost for in a PR perspective.
Mm-hmm. I would have a PR perspective.
Totally, and they're just maximizing their profits, they know they're going to lose some people, but they also are taking a stand, showing their values.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and
kind of like the Me Too movement is like, you have one chance to react or one chance to. Yeah, you just have to.
You gotta state your case.
Yeah,
and in our context of America, because I know we have some international listeners.
Ooh.
Well, around here, you got to vote with your dollar, and so if a company can make a big statement and say, hey, we're not going to do this, it's a difference between me and you saying, okay, I'm not going to buy this helmet.
Or I'm going to go to REI because I know that they are thinking about these things.
Yeah, so they can make an impact on themselves, but also a big impact on that parent company, too. Because REI with 1,000 stores isn't going to be holding their stuff anymore. That was half of their selection was Guro helmets. Man.
Oh really?
Wow. Oh yeah. If you go in there, most of them it's those Guro helmets around there. So
and they're in Bella's everywhere too,
and Bella's everywhere as well.
And they're and Bella's kind of the one they were in Big Five, and they're another big local one. But Walmart, Target, they're in all the huge big box stores. Bella.
Yeah, so
and they're not high quality necessarily.
It makes a big deal as long as.
But that's the entry level bike. If someone wants to buy a helmet that doesn't know anything about biking, bike shops I feel like can be intimidating. Or if you're at Target, you're just gonna be like, oh yeah, I could get a helmet. Here, it's not gonna be a great one, but a bike shop's too intimidating. They want to I don't know. It's how do we reduce these barriers?
Well, now too, it's
and you got Amazon
bike shops as well.
But you got Amazon too.
Yeah, they're gonna.
How easy is it gonna be to click on a helmet that's ill-fitting or You can look at any of these other things that you value as far as like quality or cost or where does it come from, sensory appeal, attractiveness, therapeutic value. I mean, any of these things that you value.
From?
Right. Is it made in America? Is it made abroad?
Exactly.
Dancing around some sort of subjects here, but
well,
but it's like, how do we're transitioning from big box to Amazon.
How about this? What about, this is why it's good to buy used.
I like that idea.
Buy used, it's like guilt free, because otherwise it would be trash.
Yeah.
Or just repurpose things. Because then you
There's
have no guilt.
Even
if it was
capitalism as an operating system
a bad thing.
generates tons of waste.
It does.
Lots of byproducts.
Yeah. And if you
tiny
buy
fruit, sometimes.
Tiny bitty fruits.
Blemished ones. Bicycle frames that
little
bruised ones, and bikes that haven't been on the road. I'm getting into the music thing, and there's music stores that do the recycled music gear thing. And it's like, these are great. Why do we buy new all the time?
Right.
We don't gotta buy new all the time.
You don't need to buy new.
But that's that's the capitalist operating system. And it's wasteful.
I feel like that's the sick part of the capitalism.
Yeah,
The
but
sick
we're
part
humans,
that's like
and
you need
humans
to
can
buy new.
intervene. And I think that's the government. The government can update the operating system. We can give it some new parameters and some new macros to run, and
starting with
defrag the hard drive a little bit. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Starting with a shift of your safety is your responsibility.
Correct.
Into your safety is our responsibility. So we all need to like pitch in and build this fucking trail.
So step one, don't require helmets.
And just wear a helmet.
Reduce the barrier. Take away the whole you have to buy a helmet.
Yeah.
Thing.
It's like bullet
immediately.
Points. This is
like okay, everybody else.
Point.
So let's talk.
Second bullet point, build that fucking trail.
Yeah. Third bullet point, put like bike helmets available. I don't know. Make them free.
Make them free. You're so fucking concerned. But no.
Oh, I would donate to that kind of thing. Like if there was a way that I could support free bike helmets to people that wanted them, I totally would.
Yeah. I think
if they taxed, I would pay a bike tax. Pay something. I don't know. We can get creative. But there's got to be a way. We can get clever with it. For every bike tube that you buy, I don't know. If you want a helmet, you should be able to get one. And you shouldn't have to support the NRA to get one.
No.
But I also think that there's an opportunity here to increase this functionality, the sensory appeal, the connectiveness. You can make it. I mean, there could be some cool helmets out there with like it. I mean, we've already seen some with lights in it and stuff. It's like.
Have you seen the one that goes around the neck?
No.
It's like if you fall.
Oh, I did hear about that. But it's like these are. Step one: repeal the law.
It's like an airbag.
We're inhibiting innovation.
Yeah. It was meant to be like a public health.
Yeah.
Like law.
It's not.
I was looking at the wrong problem.
Did you ever find that article?
Which one?
The one that you said there was a new one.
The unhelpful ways cities talk about bike helmets.
Yeah. Well, that was in the Times.
By City Lab.
City Lab. Okay.
That's the one that I saw that goes more in depth, but it's picked up. It's been picked up. Like this kind of story has been picked up more.
Okay.
How about safety in numbers instead of safety in helmets?
I dig it. It's safety and infrastructure.
Speeds. Yeah, building separate bike infrastructure says it.
I mean, if I'm gonna take a bike, I rode across the parking lot at Seattle Center with that helmet on Saturday. Sure, it was just around the block, but I did not crash.
That's good.
Yeah,
that's good. You didn't really need it, right?
I don't think I did, and I didn't do anything unnecessary. I mean,
like doing flippies.
Yeah, I'm not taking unnecessary risks. I didn't need to. I knew I didn't need to, but that was all part of my planned route. And it was either that or walk, and it would have taken 3 times as long to walk.
Yeah, an unnecessary risk. That's sad if taking your bike out is a risk.
Yeah,
it's.
I think it goes back to victim blaming. I really am cautious on using that, but the more I think about it, the more I believe it. It's that the amount of times that I've crashed my bike or been in a bike wreck, the one time that I wasn't wearing a helmet,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, well, that's always the first question. And yeah, it's kind of like, well, what was she wearing? Or what was he wearing to provoke the driver?
Right, exactly.
I know that driver almost killed you.
If something bad happened to you, you must have deserved it.
Right. If you died when you were wearing a helmet, then that's kind of like, I don't know. It's
an oxymoron that people just are just like, I don't know if I can accept it.
And it's not like we're repealing the Second Amendment here, with this helmet law. Like I would encourage helmet innovation and helmets to free helmets for all. I mean,
helmet innovation, helmets for all.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Helmets for anybody that wants to.
Yeah.
And also safety for people. It's not that unsafe to ride a bike without a helmet.
Oh no, dude! It's not a dangerous thing. It's an exciting, it's a fun, adventurous thing.
I mean, it's not unsafe.
An experience on its own.
It's more safe to ride with a helmet, but it's not unsafe to ride without one.
No.
It's more safe to do it with it.
Yeah. The dangerous thing are the cars that are around you.
And not paying attention. An operator error.
They're not paying attention. Yeah.
I can't argue that enough. It's like, we shouldn't. Fascists.
You're not going to get hurt.
Fascist government.
You're going to get hurt because there's a car around.
Yeah. You're going to get hurt because it's doing something. I mean, I broke my arm twice. Broke two, I think.
Broke it twice?
I broke both. I think I broke this arm too, but I don't remember.
Did you?
But I definitely broke my elbow last year.
Mm-hmm.
And that was because I put it up to protect my face from getting scraped up on the sidewalk.
That's good.
Yeah. But the helmet didn't have anything to do with anything.
No.
When it didn't save my arm and it didn't save my face. Oh. My arm saved my face. My arm broke. Fractured. Took me out for.
That's what happens to the bones.
But that's what happens, and then you heal, and then you get stronger.
Yeah. Not like a bike helmet. If you crash it one time, you gotta throw it away. It's not good for a second break.
Right. That's the other thing. And
public service announcements.
That's a scam too. But why can't we have a bike helmet that you don't have to throw away every time you crash?
What if it was like jelly?
I haven't thrown away my bike helmet, and I've crashed many times. And I have a really bad habit of like throwing my helmet on the ground or falling off my head.
Oh, but if it cracks, then it's not safe anymore.
Right. Well, I see some cracks in your helmet. I'm just pointing it out.
That's like the outer part. That's not the foamy part. That's natural wear.
We're arguing semantics now. Regardless, we're all illegal. Whether you're riding with a cracked helmet, no helmet. It's as illegal as riding without bike lights at night. I mean, I could argue that one too, but the helmets one is creating barriers for people.
Definitely.
And putting more people in cars and putting more CO2 in the atmosphere. Is that a stretch?
Cars are doing that?
Yeah.
No, I think it's a fact.
No, it's helmets. Helmets are doing that.
Helmets are doing that?
The helmet law is preventing people from biking.
They should weigh it out.
But just like
helmet is equal to a certain amount of pounds of CO2.
We've gotten that equation if we can figure out how many more people are using bike share. Because they're not using helmets on bike share. Some people are. But a majority of the people aren't using helmets when they're using a bike share.
No. No. When I was in D.C., they have the bike share there. And I met this Irishman.
Mm-hmm.
And we took the bikes out, and I took a big group of us out on the bikes. And there was no worry at all that we were going to get
helmets.
No helmets, no problems.
But they don't have a helmet law, do they?
Dude, I don't fucking know. I know that they didn't provide helmets for us, so we just took them out.
I'm saying it was really strange for me. I mean, I guess I wasn't surprised when I heard that there was a helmet law in Seattle. And it wasn't surprising because I grew up with that. You must wear a helmet, even though it's not illegal.
Is there a law in Indiana?
No. There wasn't a law in Pennsylvania either. I'm telling you, you could ride a motorcycle without a helmet, no problem.
Oh, right. You did say that.
So, I was still wearing a helmet because it was more comfortable for me. So I get out here and it's like everybody's wearing helmets. Now I'm like, fuck. I don't want, no. Not because it looks nerdy, but because I don't feel unsafe. You know what I mean? Like, because it's required is one thing, but because there's a lot of good places to ride. Not a lot. There's a lot of good places to ride comparative to Indiana and Pennsylvania for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
out here there are.
But but as far as skills go, it's like if you're a good bike rider, then you should be able to get the little stamp on your bike, on your driver license. I'm a bike person, you know? Like, donate my parts.
That's that was my thing. Yeah,
I know,
exactly.
I know. I'm just trying to
was
sum
the
it up.
thing.
We've been talking for a while.
I know it comes all the way around like an
Always.
hour later.
You said we'd thread it all together, so we do.
I want that little bike symbol. Donate my bike if I'm ever hurt and killed.
Donate my body to bikes
Donate my body.
or science. I mean, we should be able to put like icon. Like I said, maybe Facebook can jump on it.
They're doing the legacy.
They're doing
Build
the
your
Facebook
legacy.
And
Maybe when you register your bike, what can
they're gonna
happen?
take over the will industry. If that's an industry that's gonna get flipped on its head next.
And that would be great, huh?
But I mean, it's only
Register
one example.
all your things on Facebook.
But yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. They got so many things.
And then, well, I mean,
We'll be live streaming
since
on Facebook.
so many
soon,
people have
too.
it on there. Yeah, we will, because it's inevitable. Because I mean, why not?
But it's already a possible. No, it's already inevitable. Like, it's already an option. We just got to show up with a camera and put it on a show.
By the way, speaking of live videoing and showing things, we would really enjoy to make some more videos of our own.
Oh yes.
Live stream our own videos. We have an idea, and I like to just talk about things, because sometimes when you talk about them, they just kind of happen.
Mm-hmm.
So the Stoke Spoke series that Swift Industries puts on.
Mm-hmm. At Rhino Room. They're doing one in
Rhino Room.
Arizona, right?
They're
Tonight,
doing one
or
in
this
Arizona
weekend?
and Tucson on this Thursday.
Oh, sweet.
And what it's about is people who have a route and they want to share it, and they want to
Adventure biking.
adventure biking.
Randonneur.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bike camping. Bike
Yeah.
packing. However you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. And so this series is people sharing about it. And the next one is coming up in Seattle on March 28th at 6:30 p.m.
I'm going to write that down.
at the Rhino Room in Capitol Hill. It's a 21 and older event. Sorry, everybody
Sorry,
else.
kiddos.
Yeah.
But
you know
we're
what?
hoping to live stream it, so
So that's the point, right? That's another thing, is that if you can't go to it, we would like to live stream
Yep.
it. Or
and if you're part of that,
get
And-
people to get guests on there to share about
So
their.
yeah. We got to wrap it up too, because or we talk about the guest. We talked to we're gonna get some insider info from Bikeworks and
We
what they're
hope
up
to.
to, and
We got a guest that says that they're interested, and we've got some other contact information.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna hopefully and they do so much good work in the community. It's gonna be that we can't. It's too hard for me to articulate. So
Yeah.
it'd be great to hear it straight from the source. And
buy used from a nonprofit. Avoid all of the capital
my
bullshit that we were
gosh.
talking about from before.
like my friend's
Just
30 years old,
go
and it was
around
in a shed for how long? I don't know, but it's getting ridden now, and
Old friend.
it's an old frame. It's my friend. Anyway,
But we would love to like stream something like that.
yeah,
Provide the streaming capacity for that.
definitely. Because something like that would have been super helpful, like to me and you 4 years ago. I think when we were just getting started. I think.
Definitely, yeah. To find something that's relatable, no matter how. I typed in Seattle bikes so many times into YouTube,
And we didn't.
into Google. I didn't find.
And there's some old routes,
There's
and
some
people have
stuff.
been doing this
There's
stuff
lots of videos
around
but-
here for a long time.
Mm-hmm. But there's just we just need variety, man.
But we're kids of the internet, you know.
Yeah,
Like
need variety.
We need
quality.
variety, quality. Yeah, you got this hierarchy thing down.
Yeah, getting it, man.
So that's our brand that we're building,
Uh huh.
the Wheeltalk brand.
Yeah, so we're getting some guests, hoping to get new perspectives and just different voices, and finding that community that we always wanted to do.
Well, the community is out there. I know it is, and it's something that
Discovery.
I'm still
because it's
discovering. I know it's out there. We just started doing those Thursday night rides with that social crew. So I mean, there's social. Just looking at the bike happy newsletter. There's everything from social leisure rides to sport to
mechanicals.
in that
Classes.
mechanic classes, and if you're looking for work in the bike industry, there's a whole bunch of listings there. It's just the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
That's
like
really nice.
it's like the newsletter version of what I think this podcast is trying to do. Anyway,
That's something that you should sign up to as well.
definitely sign up for that. Put a link in the description.
Yeah, dude, we'll have to do that.
Um,
Hey, we got a subscriber.
yes,
Alex Warrior, #1. Thank you for subscribing.
Shout out.
Just an hour ago.
Nice. Oh man, this is definitely the longest podcast yet, even with a brief intermission.
Yeah.
But we had a lot to say.
We derailed there for a pit stop, so
Yeah, we did.
No
That's
surprise.
Okay, it's okay.
taking home points? Is there a ride off into the Sunset Point?
Oh, I think we had something. I don't know. I only had 3 things. I know there's a 4th. I think so we always have 4 things. I don't have anything left on my list.
I don't either.
But
Buy
I'll let-
used, listen to Wheeltalk, support the Indiegogo,
Yeah, as we want to go to Indianapolis and live stream
And-
from there and talk about Seattle.
and ride your bikes and contact us. That's #4.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm just making
I
it
think
up.
we were going to talk about the guests because they said yes, and that's really exciting.
Yeah, I'm glad that somebody seems to be interested in this.
Yeah, we've
Other
got
than us,
we've
too.
got a pretty good some positive feedback this week.
Alex Warrior #1 likes us too.
Yeah. Hey, woo! Got some Twitter followers, some Facebook feedback, and it's been cool. So, really
Yeah.
curious and excited to see how this thing evolves.
Me too.
Yeah. So
In the meantime,
keep it wheel.
keep a wheel. Ride your bike.
Ride your bike for sure.
Listen in next Sunday too.
Yeah, tune in next Sunday for Wheel Talk. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. Some more pistols at dawn.
Keep a wheel.
At the distance.
That went well.